In this video, we're going to find the volume of a composite solid. So composite solid just means that we have multiple solids in here that we're finding the volume of all together. So I see for this first one, I have this cylinder that I want to find the volume of, but I see that I have a hemisphere that is taken out. And hemisphere just means that is half of a sphere. So to find this solid, it's going to equal the cylinder volume. So I'm just going to shorten that out to say cyl volume minus hemisphere volume, because I see that hemisphere is taken out of that cylinder. So I'm going to first find the cylinder volume. And if you recall, the cylinder volume, that is just equal to pi r squared h. And I see my radius here for this cylinder is 2. So I have pi 2 squared. And then I see that my height is also 2. 2 squared, I get 4. 4 times 2, I get 8 pi. I'm going to leave that as in terms of pi for now and multiply pi out at the very end. Next, I want to find the hemisphere volume. And I know the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed, but hemisphere is going to be half of that. So I'm going to multiply all of this by 1/2. And again, my radius is 2, so I'm going to plug in 2 for r. So I have 1/2 4/3 pi 2 cubed. 2 cubed, I get 8. 8 times 4, I get 32. So I have 1/2 32/3 pi. And then when I multiply out those fractions, I get 32/6 pi. And then reducing my fractions, that's going to be the same thing as 16/3 pi. And so now to find the volume of the solid, I'm going to take my cylinder volume, so that's 8 pi minus 16/3 pi. And then get to a common denominator, and I'm going to go ahead and multiply 8/1 by 3/3, and I get 24/3 pi minus 16/3 pi. 24 minus 16, I get 8/3 pi. And when I multiply that out, I get approximately 8.38 inches cubed. Now for number 2, I see I again have a hemisphere, and then this time I have a cone. So to find the volume of this solid, I'm going to need to find the volume of the hemisphere and add it with the volume of the cone. Well, hemisphere volume, again, it was 1/2 times the volume of a hemisphere, which is 4/3 pi r cubed. Well, my radius here is just equal to 1, so I have 1/2 4/3 pi 1 cubed. 1 cubed times 4/3 is just 4/3, and then 4/3 times 1/2, I get 4/6 pi. And when I reduce that fraction, I get 2/3 pi. Now I need to find the volume of the cone. So the cone volume, if you recall, that is 1/3 pi r squared h. And so substituting in my value for r and h, I get 1/3 pi. My radius again is 1. And then I see that my height here is 5. 1 squared is just 1, and then 1 times 5 is 5. 5 times 1/3, I get 5/3 pi. And so that means that my solid volume It's just equal to the hemisphere volume plus the cone volume. So I have 2/3 pi plus 5/3 pi. 2/3 plus 5/3, I get 7/3 pi. And when I multiply that out, I get approximately 7.33 meters cubed.